WTHC. What are you yelling at me already?
No, I was talking to my wife.
Oh. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon for us over here on the East Coast. How are you? Welcome in.
Afternoon,
oh, my
everybody.
goodness. Somebody wrote, "The hippie is sexy" over there. That's crazy.
But there's a clue as to who may have written it.
Wow, it's probably Mrs. Hippie.
Because it doesn't say WTHC Radio Army. It says WTHCA Radio.
Kevin.
How are you, Kevin? Good morning, Kelly. Garrett.
Hanging
How's
tough
everybody?
with the hippie, right? Welcome in, Kevin. Nice to see you. Andrew, how are you? Good to see you, buddy. Today must be Saturday for you because you're here. Usually he's not here. He has to work during this time. It's good to see you, buddy. Thank you for being here. Please share it out. We're still at 98 subscribers over on YouTube. So if you have a YouTube, go on over there real quick and subscribe there so we can get to our 100 million followers. No, just 100. 100. 1 million followers. Anyway, Christopher, good morning. How are you, sir? I can't wait to have you up. You did get the connection, right? So you're ready in a few minutes. We'll bring you up and hang out with you for the day. Oh, Kevin, that would be amazing. You would be number 99 unless somebody gets over there before you, and then somebody's going to be 100. What's Mrs. High saying?
You're going to hit 100. That's what my wife is saying.
She's going there to get it. She's going to try to be 100. Well, wait. Now let Kevin do it first. So
you want to know the real sad part? She's going to subscribe to you before she subscribes to me.
Well, you got to understand. I am adorable. If you read up there in the top line, it says I'm sexy.
That's right.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, just click it when we're ready.
But you got to be in a Chrome browser. Don't try and do it from Safari. You won't get in.
Yeah, I hope that's not an issue. No, it seemed like we had everything went well for me and him when I sent it to him.
Yeah, as long as he's in a Chrome browser, it doesn't matter. The link can work on Chrome, Safari, whatever, but StreamYard doesn't work in Safari.
Is it official? I can't find out if it's official or not. Are we at 100 subscribers? Because then we're going to dance. Who uses Safari?
I'm on Apple.
Old people.
And Safari works a whole lot better on my app on my iMac than does.
Curly Cal, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Taking time out of your work day to share it out for us. We appreciate you.
And don't work too hard.
Never. She never works too hard. Yeah, well, 1 or 2 times I've seen her stressed out, like freaking to freak out.
Apple for the win.
Apple for the win. You can't even come over to Stoner Talk. If you guys haven't heard, there's a Stoner Talk for Android users only at this point. It will be for you guys with Apple very shortly. He said apples fall in the fall. So it's going to fall in the fall. Hopefully that'll be in the very near future. He's working on it now, but it's pretty cool. The only thing is nobody really streams over there. So I'm like sitting in there by myself, dude.
Yes.
But somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to be there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. Good morning. Dr. High, how was your night last night?
I don't know. I think I got on the couch and I fell asleep pretty quick. And
yeah, well, you said you were beat after the show. You were like already beat.
Yeah, I started really early yesterday morning.
It was a stressful show yesterday with Lori's plant and my plant and all the trauma we had to deal with. So you were very stressed out. I understand.
Did you hit 100?
I don't know. I can't tell. I'm here. I'm not there.
You can't see.
I can't see. I'll have to wait until the end of the show or somebody.
Morning, Tom.
Tom, nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Welcome in. Tom is new, I guess. I've never seen Tom before. Hi, Tom.
Nope. I don't think so.
Very nice to meet you. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for saying hello. We appreciate you guys. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. So, Dr. High, I worked all day. Yeah, I don't have much to report. I got high and I worked until like 8 o'clock. I got off the phone. I got off of work. I went out. I sat on the couch. I talked to Mrs. Hippie for like 6 or 7 minutes. Doop. Done. I don't remember anything after that. It was pretty much over.
Some days are like that. And then
Tom, thank you so much for joining us.
And then I got to wake up. And then you want to go to
Show
bed?
Mo Bud.
Show Mo Bud.
Hi,
Get
Show
high.
Mo Bud.
Always get high.
I love Show Mo Bud.
Huh?
I want to show some Mo Bud right now, but I only got one hand and I'm soft. I'll probably go on fire.
My bud's all rolled up.
Yeah, Christopher, if you want to try to hit that link, we'll get ready. I mean, we're going to bring our friend Christopher. He's a long-time listener, first-time joiner. Right? Is that how you say it? Long-time listener, first-time joiner.
Yeah, I suppose.
Do it. I can't, man. I only got one hand. I have a card over here.
So I'm just going to tell everybody early now is those journals for the next 36 hours are 25% off. I threw them on sale just to
my goodness,
going for my American friends.
Woo!
In the U.S. I didn't make them available even to Canadians.
I am an American, so
yeah, U.S. Everybody who spends time with us on this show pretty much is from the States, so I wanted to do it most primarily for here.
That's not true. We have a very big following in Canada.
Well, I'm saying
in the UK.
In the
in the chat, right? In the chat here, maybe a little more, but we definitely have our UK representative, Raggy, and we have our Canada representative, THNC, and our friend Pothead. Huh?
You hit 100.
Woohoo! We did it! We did it. I don't know where Master Rochi is. I've lost control of him.
Yo, you can't figure him out now?
I can't find him anymore. He put himself hidden from us, so we can't.
He's got to be like at 106.
Yeah, probably. He's got 1 million followers. I don't know how it's taken him so long to get that up. I see our friend Christopher is in the green room. He's in the green room. So let's leave him there and leave him anxious for a little while. We got a commercial coming up. Maybe we'll bring him in after the commercial. No, I'm just kidding. DoktorHigh, we got Christopher here. We've talked to Hi, Timmy. Good morning, Timmy. How are you? We did it. We got to 100 subscribers. Now we only got 999,900 to go.
There we go.
Woo! We're on our way.
Uphill from here.
Roll it and they will come. Roll it and they will come. All right. So we have our friend Christopher. You've seen a lot of his story.
Yep.
He's written it a few times, but we're not going to make him write it this time. We're going to let him speak his truth. Tell his story here with us live on WTHC Radio and on YouTube and Facebook over here with Da.Hippie and DoktorHigh. Anything you want to say before I bring him up?
No, let's go. All right. Let's go.
Christopher, did you do your hair and makeup?
How you doing, Donovan? Thanks for joining.
All right. He did his hair and makeup. Welcome in, everybody. Here he comes. Welcome in, Christopher. I wish I had applause. I wish I had an applause button.
We'll have to find one.
Yay!
What are you smoking there, Chris?
There we go.
You weren't ready, were you? You were like, uh-oh. Busted. You're not smoking nothing. You smoke whatever you want, big bat.
Looks like a little spliff going on.
All right.
I showered and looked good. I got to smoke now.
There you go.
So this is Christopher, everybody. Christopher is in our chat all the time. He hangs with us.
How you guys doing?
A friend. Good, doing
well. Doing well. Good. Can you hear us okay? Chris?
Oh, there we go.
Did you hear us all right?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep. We hear you okay. You can hear us? Can you hear DoktorHigh?
Yep. I had to close the other one. I was hearing an echo.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens. Yeah. Sometimes you have to have it off in the other one. Yeah, I get that all the time.
All right. Smoking? What strain you got going on?
I believe this was some black gelato.
Black gelato. Interesting.
I've never had.
I looked it up. It was supposed to be like a hybrid indica, some kind.
Yeah, I got some pretty strong indicas myself going on. I don't know what the hell this girl did to me, but man, I'm always fighting, falling asleep this week.
Yeah.
A little stronger than I was expecting.
Nope, got done taking care of the plants, and then I jumped in the shower and got ready.
Nice.
Yeah. So, are you going to be able to show us the plants at some point throughout the show, or no?
Probably not from here.
No. Okay. You're in a stable location where you can't get up and walk.
On my computer right now.
Yeah. All right. That's fine. That's fine. We'll do it another day.
A secure location. Are you in a secure location?
In a secure location.
Well, I am in a bank, so yeah.
Yeah, that's
pretty secure.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. He's in a bank. He's in a secure location.
Welcome
in, everybody. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. So, DoktorHigh, I'm going to take over from here. Christopher has a story, and I want to hear it. So I'm going to do my best to keep my mouth shut and pay attention.
Well, then I better put this out for a minute.
All right. Well, you know what? Why don't we do our commercials first, and then we'll start with your story. How about that?
Fuck, that's hot.
How's that sound?
Works for me.
All right. We'll be right back. I got to set these commercials up, and then we'll be right back.
Very nice, Zach. How are you today? Patrick, how you doing?
Okay, men. This is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this.
Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please subscribe, like, share.
It's up to you. So what are you going to do? You're going to go grocery shopping. Cook, clean. Be there emotionally and physically. You got to dig deeper. Drive in the physical there. Doctors want this. Forget about the pharmacy. No, you won't. Because that's what caregivers
Bruce
do.
Banner and blue cheese.
Give up.
I love blue cheese.
Don't ever give up.
It's my favorite
This
dressing.
is your time to show the world, your family,
Chris, can you see the chat?
and yourself.
Always like the cheese strains.
Go out there.
No, I'm just in StreamYard.
The world has ever seen.
Should be on your right
Caregiving is
somewhere.
tougher.
Especially if you're on a computer.
/caregiving.
Up towards the top, it says comments or something.
Hi, I'm Da.Nica Patrick and proud aunt.
In the right corner, right side, under the.
I was on private chat. I think that was the problem.
1 in 6
Can you
kids
see it now?
in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6.
There we go.
Girl sitting alone at the
Yep,
playground.
I'm good now.
All right, good.
She doesn't have the energy.
She got a bunch of fans out here looking at you, hanging.
Will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country.
I see that Donovan there. That's my cousin.
America is working.
Oh, we got a Donovan, we got Patrick, we got Zachary, we got Garrett here, of course.
Of good food that would have gone to waste.
Shomo.
Oh yeah, don't worry. I was spreading the word I was going to be here.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate it. That's great. And I appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out with us.
Absolutely.
To find out how
We'll be right back in a couple minutes. We just got a couple of commercials. Got to pay the bills. Got to pay the bills.
This would be the bank here.
America and the
Oh, nice.
Hey, you.
That's
Basically a
pretty
big
cool
open living room. It's a nice little bachelor pad style there.
Grammy used to do for you.
How long you been living there, Chris?
You happy? 23.
Well, probably about 10 years now.
Oh, yeah? Quite a while.
What do you need? She crochets hats. She crochets animals.
I started renting it from my parents, and then I ended up just kind of buying it from them. So
Okay.
Anything that you might want.
When was the last time you
Got some gooseberry.
probably a good 70 years ago.
An old time bank.
Oh yeah, I don't lie. We live in a town of about 50 people, so
Oh.
Join me
we don't have any kind of business, nothing in town anymore.
over 4 years.
Well, as long as the neighbors aren't nosy, that's a good place to start.
It's one nice thing, yeah. You become friends and know most of your neighbors. That helps.
It's gonna be a wild time, baby. The mucker ship has returned.
Beaner, you've seen my tats enough.
Go back to outer space with me.
Uh-oh.
Get your tickets online. Check out the OVDJ camp out on Facebook events. Or go to mucksticky.com.
Hey, Mississippi, why don't we take a ride to Dauphin, PA today?
Dauphin? What's in Dauphin?
Bella's badass crystals.
Oh, but I thought you hang out with them on Facebook and on TikTok.
That's only on Mondays, Tuesdays, Saturdays, Sundays. Today I
Show them
want
the
to
Hendrix lyrics after they come back from commercial.
That sounds like a great road trip.
Huh?
That's on my back at least.
Badass crystals on TikTok.
I'm gonna play a
420
420 song first.
That's fine with me too. Always got to celebrate 420.
It's Bill Schmidt Jr.
Calligraphy with 420 THC.
Yeah, I added this song to my Spotify too.
Yeah, he's the bomb, man. Come join our Discord, Garrett. We hang with his ass every day.
That's another funny thing. When you introduced me to that Muck Sticky, I got a good friend that's.
We have to wait till after the music. It's so loud.
There's my good boy.
I take it back to rolling in the optimal, blowing smoke out my nose, dropping ashes on my clothes till I doze off. I'm so fried, no lie. Got you afraid.
You're gonna quit
to look down.
doggy.
That shit, it's like I lit that shit in the crowd, pass it around and let you hit that shit.
I'm glitching bad again. I think it's because of all the stories I got up here across the top.
Oh, yeah?
I probably don't need them all, but it seems to be slowing things down. Whenever I put one up, it would slow a little down. And I'll put one up, I'll slow it down a little. Roll that shit, lick that shit, burn it. 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 Shit, lick that shit, burn it. Roll that shit, lick that shit, burn it.
The sunshine in my pocket on a Sunday stroll. Homie got the rap, give me the sack. Let the good times repeat, earth, body, and soul. World, give me beat, cuss, give me mix control. Back row, 5 packs told.
I opened up the cart, DoktorHigh. Yeah. I opened up my cart now.
And it's a yay?
It's hit while the show's going down. Yay.
Oh, there you go.
Out of all the girls in my life, Mary Jane, reservation. Here, the 23, raising hands and liberation. A celebration, history free from information. Stand up, provide the right education.
Happy 420, everybody. Roll that shit. Lick that shit. Smoke it. Roll that shit. Lick that shit. Roll that shit.
They actually smoked a little death bubba this morning.
I can't hear you, buddy.
Roll that shit.
Death puppet? That's funny. It's like when I got that alpha hippie.
I can't hear you, bud. I love you both. You're both adorable.
Been here 10 minutes. He's flirting already.
WTHC. We're back. Happy 420 to everybody out there celebrating. And thank you, whoever you are, for giving me another opportunity to smoke today. Yay. All right. So we're back, and now it's time to get down and dirty with Christopher. DoktorHigh, take it away.
Well, I'm curious to know how you first became introduced to cannabis and how you came to understand that it could be beneficial to you in your particular situation.
A lot of it was my older brother. He was always trying to talk to me into it and talk me into trying it. And finally, after I graduated, he got me to try it. And after that, it just kind of went from there. I wasn't giving it up. It helped me a lot more than most of the pills and all the stuff I tried growing up. So
you didn't get high until after you graduated high school?
Yeah, it was about 18. It was the summer I graduated. It was probably a month after, but yeah.
Wow. And you
growing up with my disabilities and stuff, I was always cautious and I was always try to be protective about stuff. So, and when you're taught in school that it's bad for you.
Is this thing on?
No, I've got 3 brothers.
Are you the youngest, the middle, the oldest?
Middle. I'm the second to youngest. I got 2 older brothers and a younger brother.
And your younger brother, no sisters.
It was like a holiday for my one brother when he found out I was smoking. That's for sure.
Right, because now
I had about a 2-foot bong, and I had to hit it and clear it in one pull, or I had to do it again.
Or you had to do it again. He taught you how to do it.
And of course, I'm not the judge if it was clear or not. It was them that decided if I got it all. So
right, he was like, "No, man, you got to do that shit."
I couldn't drive or nothing. I had to have my brother drive us back because I was too high. I was just laughing and sitting on the couch.
Yeah,
it was a good memory. I'll always remember that one.
All right, but let's go back a little bit. So you were born with a defect? Is that how it happened?
Yeah, I was born with a few of them there. I've got severe scoliosis.
All right.
So my back basically looks like an S.
Can I ask?
What was that?
Are you in a wheelchair?
No.
Okay. You can.
I didn't walk till I was about 4, and I went through all kinds of physical therapy. And being born with, what was it, club feet they call it, or club foot?
Yep.
I basically had to flip my feet around, so I've got scars on my ankles from all that. And
okay.
It was one of those, I was pushed as a kid to keep walking, and I wouldn't need it, and that's pretty much what happened.
So they were right. They helped you get through that. But you're still a walking man now to this day. That's awesome.
Yep.
And was walking. I mean, as a young child, of course, when you were relearning, it had to have been horrible and suck. But now that you're,
my main thing was balance a lot.
Is it painful to this day to walk, or is there any pain involved in your walking?
It's more if I'm just standing around like in one spot, not moving. They seem to get more tight and they tense up a lot faster.
Okay.
But walking and stuff never really bothered me too much.
Now the scoliosis, do you have like a curve in your back? Like, are you arched a little bit? Like
I'll show you my tattoo.
Oh, good. I wanted to see your tits.
We always like tattoos.
I always want to see tits this early in the morning. Yeah, thanks. Nice boobs. OSF. What is that?
So yeah, I'm basically hunched over a little bit, and then my back is curved.
Yeah, you got like a little S going. You got a little S going on there. They couldn't do nothing for that.
They tried to put me in a brace and in a cast as a kid, and it just caused more pain than it did. I think helped.
Right.
And I heard the doc say one time that, it's slowing it down. And as a kid, said, if it's not stopping it or helping me, get it off of me.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me go do things. Let me go be a kid,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
the attitude
right.
you gotta have, right? I mean,
it's not only the pain. It's
that's one thing I was always taught as a kid from like my grandma and that side of the family is, only you can do it. So don't let them tell you otherwise.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't let them stop you. Don't tell them you can't. Don't let them say you can't.
And that's the coolest part about so many people that encounter these kind of difficulties in life and problems and get through them and overcome and live their lives and say, fuck it, you know what I mean? I'm just going to live life. And that's inspirational. So many people sit around and whine about their lives and how tough they got it and stuff like that. But then you look at people like Chris.
That always gets me.
You know what I mean?
It's got to be tough for you too, as somebody who has overcome, and you battle through it. To watch people who are I don't know. I don't want to.
Well, I also have MS and cerebral palsy too. So.
Oh, jeez.
Goodness. You got dealt.
My medical book when I was a kid was probably about this thick. So, it was definitely a big old dictionary.
As
good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being
away
here.
From some of your medications. Are there things that you've been able to eliminate because you use cannabis?
Yeah, I really don't take much pills or anything. A lot of it was about 10 years ago or so, my epilepsy started acting up.
Okay.
And they wanted me to take this Keppra, these pills, but it seemed to me all it did was making me lazy, and I had no motivation. Like I didn't want to do anything. And as soon as I stopped taking those pills again, I was up. I was doing stuff. Even in the mornings, cleaning up the house. I was like, I can't keep going back and doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've told my mother, I've told everybody that. I said, I'm doing what works for me. I'm tired of trying it their way. And then 3 months later, I have another seizure or something, or, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Absolutely. I had so many questions, but I forgot them all because I'm high.
Good start.
Yeah.
Damn it. I've been working for hours now. I'm on hour number 5 on this show. I've done 5 420s already today. And
I had you going on the Xbox for a little while I was gaming in the background there.
Oh, I appreciate it and I love it. You got some big fans. Garrett says he's known you since 4th grade and you are a testament to the human spirit. He's always been a super upbeat, outgoing guy and has always been there for him through good times and bad. That sounds like a good friend, man. You're a good friend.
About 3rd grade, about, what was it, 9 or 10 years old, I moved out here from New York to Minnesota. So
you were originally from New York. You moved to Minnesota.
That explains all the Yankee tattoos over here.
I'm sorry you got influenced.
I took a lot of hell for it. So that's kind of the other reason. All the hell I took for it just increased it that much more.
And Donovan says the exact same thing. He would literally say the exact same thing. He's got to be here to support his cuz. I honestly just a part
That's
of my
cousin. He actually does some music of his own. He's pretty good.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Hit me up, Donovan. You got to hit me up.
You know, buddy, he could play on here sometime.
Yeah, I'll play your music on the
radio.
radio.
Be interested in bringing some live music on occasion, huh?
Yeah, that would be cool too. Yeah. So there's more. I mean, there's got to be more. So you start. All right. So now you're going through high school. You're walking and you're talking, and everybody loves you. You're a great guy. I can tell from everybody's chat over there. After high school, you graduate. You get or do you graduate? Yes. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. You start smoking weed now. This is for your own, like, was it for mental health? Did you just feel better or like you
more like my body pains, like the aches?
Did you start to learn about
towards the end of the days? It would just help me relax more. And that's what my brother kept pushing on to me the first time I tried it. He's like, it would help me relax, help me sleep at night. Because that's another thing with the muscles getting tight and stuff. You toss and turn a lot at night and you're waking up every 2-3 hours. It drives you nuts.
Right. So do you mix up your routine between smoking, edibles, oils, things like that, or you just smoke joints, or how do you consume?
I mean, we have some like the vape pens once in a while here and there out here, but mainly it's just flower for the most part.
Okay.
And then depending on what's going on, if I'm home by myself, it's usually just the bong that I'll use. That way I can just hit it and put it out and hit it again later.
Do you have problems still at night, like waking up? Because when you smoke, you only get a couple of hours worth of relief, right? So do you find yourself waking up at night when, you know, like, do you get restless and tight like that? And you have to smoke in the middle of the night, or?
I really don't get up. I mean, once in a while I'll get restless, but it's usually just kind of toss and turn, and then I'll roll over and go back to sleep. But depending on what's going on, try not to get out of bed if I don't have to.
Have you ever made your own edibles or your own oils or anything?
Yeah, I've got a couple buddies that live around here. They've helped me with that. Like I used to make caramels.
Jamie.
We'd make big sticks of caramels, and I'd drop some in the coffee in the morning. Or, you know, if I'm just kind of bored hanging out, I'll cut a chunk off and eat it. And
I
definitely know how to do a lot of that stuff.
Pixie Mom, welcome in.
Welcome in, everybody. The longer period of relief at night, right? If you were to take your edibles, at night before bedtime and then smoke, you know, because the smoke will give you that immediate thing. And then once you're already asleep, the edibles will kick in and maybe help you get a really good, like, night's rest, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever tried.
I get what you're saying.
What I want to know about is the caramels.
I mean, I've heard edibles here and there, so I mean, I definitely kind of understand it. It definitely seems to work a lot.
Yeah, you respond well to them?
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, not everybody does, like the hippie over there.
Yeah.
Doesn't really get off on edibles, but, you know, when your body does respond to them, they're really ideal for nighttime use, especially if it's a sleep-related issue that you go with, right?
Donovan says.
Yeah, I remember back when I was younger, we had somebody make us some brownies, and I think I ate 2 of them, and I couldn't move. I couldn't get off the couch.
Yeah, especially back in the day, people were
telling buddies, if you want to try it, they're on the stove. Go ahead, and I'm not moving.
I'm not getting it for you.
Yeah, that's because there's not so much concentration on dosing there, back in the days. But now,
right,
you have access both medically and recreationally, correct, in Minnesota?
Yep, just last month.
So you could really make you'd be able to access THC distillate most likely in a dispensary, and you could really make controlled dosed edibles for yourself. So simply.
We basically have been trying to get one that's closer here. The last time when I had my medical card, the closest place was a good 3 hours away from me. So,
what about recreational? How far do you have to go to a recreational dispensary?
That I'd have to check out. I don't know how many are even open yet, being that it just passed.
Oh, it's just passed in Minnesota?
Last August, yeah. I mean, August, just a month ago.
Okay.
Yep. That's why everybody was excited last month. Oh, man, it passed. Here we go.
Oh, so you're only a month into legalization?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's going to take a little while before you probably... I mean, I'm sure there were people poised and ready to go, but nobody probably pulled the trigger until it actually went through, right? So you don't invest that money before.
But we have a vault full of love coming.
Well, that was kind of why I started mine a little early, too, is I wanted to get them started. And then after the other story I told you about getting in trouble, and I just lost all care anymore, so...
Yeah. No, you know, when you're doing it controlled inside your own home, then you're safe most of the time, right? It's the people that you surround yourself with are the ones that can put you in jeopardy. But when you have a good circle of friends who don't discuss your business with anybody, then generally you're pretty safe cultivating at home, even in a legal environment,
there's a couple of us, but we stay pretty tight.
Well, that's it. And there's no telltale sign, right? If you got 5, 6, 8, 10 plants growing at home, as long as you're doing something about odor mitigation, nobody's ever going to know.
No choking.
Being there
choking on the air.
In the country and in a small community,
choking my coffee.
People would most likely understand that you're
choking on
you're cultivating for your medicinal benefit, right? So you're going to have a community that
actually. To you, Fred. Have a great day. Good morning, Pixie Mom.
Working against you would be what I would.
That's the other thing on why I like where I'm living at right now. With being such a small town, I have the old fire hall next to me. I've got a huge backyard. I mean, I've got almost half a block to myself before there's even another house. So
that's nice.
It's nice not having to be too concerned with the smell.
Yeah, that's it.
Hold on, let me go back.
What's your I don't know what season you would have in Minnesota, but would you be able to say that you'd see no frost from the end of May through end of October, mid to October?
No, he's frosty.
I'd say a good mid October.
Yeah. Then you got enough of the environment to do a decent outdoor thing.
So if I were to start something next year, I could probably do it outside.
Yeah. And the idea would be to take some cuttings from your plants, because the state your plants are in right now, your stage, you're still in your veg, right? You haven't flipped to 12 and 12 yet? No, you have, haven't you?
No, I did just a few days ago.
You did?
By about 5 days now.
Okay. Because I would have suggested taking a couple of cuttings right before you did, and then rooting those clones so you have your next cycle ready to go. Are you showing any sign of flower yet?
No, not really.
Okay. I have to take a look at those plants again to get an idea of what you could do, but you might be able to cut a clone or two off of there. And you have those in the starting phase, right? So as soon as your plants finish flowering, you can bring these in, because you have more than one light. So you can use one light to maintain your clone stock, and then you have one environment for your flowering stock, because it's not you have a dark cycle during the flower as it is during the veg as it is during the flower. So even if you weren't able to utilize the tent for your clones and for your young vegetative plants, the tent is ideal because you have an enclosed environment for flowers, so you can control your light and your humidity and everything. And then you're just ready to go. As soon as you harvest those plants, you take the next set, bang, right into the garden, flip them to 12 and 12, and you always have a cycle going. And hopefully you get to the point where what you produce from the first cycle won't run out until the second cycle is ready, right? And that's the idea, to get them into a rotation.
Going,
yeah, because you can really pull, for sure 4 harvests a year, sometimes 5 indoors. If you get your timing down right. So
right.
Yeah.
And like I said, hey, being my first try, I'm not complaining yet. So
far so good, I think.
I haven't seen a picture of them. I think the last pictures you sent me were a week or 10 days ago. And
I'll get you some more.
Nice and hardy already, So they're off to a good start for sure. And they've caught up with each other now too, I think, where you had one.
Yeah, that's why I think one's a sativa and one's the indica, because that one is more of a taller, lankier one.
And how's the leaves on them? Do they have a different leaf? One very broad leaf, one very slim?
Yeah, I have to look at it a little more, but yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, because usually a broader leaf is more a broad leaf and a more squat plant will be an indication of an indica.
That's an indica, yeah.
And a thinner leaf and a more lanky plant will usually lean more towards the sativa side. And then you got your hybrids, which will show
everybody. Write that down. Write that down.
Well, that's why I was saying to you, Hippie, when
in your journal.
A little bit bigger, we'll be able to take a look at the structure of the plant and kind of hazard a guess as to what you're actually, not the strain, but the genus, right? Whether it's indica or sativa.
Right.
You know what I've seen recently on Facebook that's been kind of interesting? I don't know whether either of you have seen them. Are guys who have these little plants about this big that look like a big head of broccoli, but it's the flower, right? So it's flowered, but it looks more like a head of broccoli. It's a real small.
They calling them like a bonsai tree kind of thing.
Yeah, they're talking about them as bonsais, but really, what I believe is going on there is that the ruderalis traits are coming out because they're always autoflowers that look like that, right? So the guys, when they're posting those pictures, they're from autoflower seeds, but that's the ruderalis that comes out. Because if you look at the third genus of cannabis that nobody ever talks about, which is the ruderalis, which grows in Mongolia and Siberia and places like that, that's how those plants look. Small, squat, dense flower like that. So I think what's happening is, sometimes in the when they're making these autoflowers, the seeds, some seeds I think stay closer to the ruderalis genetic, and then some go closer to the genetic you're looking for, right? Whether you're crossing with an indica or a sativa from there. But it's pretty interesting because it seems to be on Facebook, people are like, why does my plant look like this? What happened to it? Why is it this way? Right?
Why is it broken? Why is my plant broken?
They're interesting because they do look like little bonsai. But
I mean, it still produces the same amount as a normal, or does it produce less?
No, it's got to produce less because it's so small.
That would make me crazy.
It's more of the structure like a mushroom, right? With a single stalk and a massive cap. That's the bud.
Yeah, I know. I can picture it. I know what you're talking about.
It doesn't have the same.
I better not get one of those. I'll be pissed.
I'd be curious to smoke it though.
Oh yeah,
I'd be interested to know.
I wouldn't be that pissed. I wouldn't turn it down.
Well, I've never really seen any testing information on that. On
everything all right down there, sir?
Oh yeah, phone call. That they can wait.
Sure. I can put you down if you need to make a call back or anything, and then we can bring you back up. We got to do a commercial.
I just messaged him. I said, hey, I'm talking. I'll get back to you.
All right. Everything's fine. Okay. So go ahead, Dr. High.
Oh, I thought you were about to say something and my brain went blank.
No. I want to know, so now are you do you strictly stay with indica, or because it's not very quite as legal as it needs to be there yet? It's on its way, but do you still have to get from the shady guy on the street so you get what you get?
Oh, yeah. Well said.
I was laughing about that at the dispensary yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday I went. So I said to the guy, I'm just going to grab some pre-rolls. Give me these, the Death Bubble, which was the indica, and then they have mimosa.
Hi, Lori.
Or the sativas. So I said, all right, let me grab 5 of those, 4 of those. And he says, when we were growing up, we just took what we could get. Ain't nobody ever thought about it.
Right.
And it's true. You showed up at Buddy's house, and what he had, plain and simple. And like I said, it probably wasn't until 10 or 12 years ago that I'd start going to see guys who had 4 or 5 things laying around. Hey, what are you looking for? You want this? I got this. I got this. I got this. But that was totally out of the norm growing up. I mean, you didn't see that. The guy had one thing and one thing only.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
remember them days?
Yeah.
And now it's like my son, he'll have his friend from around the corner come by, but before he comes, he'll send him like a whole menu. I have this, and this at this price, this, and this, and this at this price, this, and this at this price. I'm like, what the hell? I got your own little traveling dispensary there. You can get an ounce of cherry Coke and whatever else. I don't know.
So what's your closest major metropolitan area, Chris? Like a major town to you?
Minneapolis.
Probably, Minneapolis or Rochester is be your 2 biggest ones. I'm about 45 minutes from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. That's getting to be pretty big.
Is it legal there?
No, definitely not.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to see what kind of dispensaries are available to you.
South Dakota was a state that tried to pass it, and they passed it, and then the governor basically shut it down on them.
Okay.
Bastard.
A couple years ago.
How far are you from Minneapolis?
About 4 hours, 3.5 hours.
Oh, you're far.
I'm literally in the corner of Minnesota, like about 20 minutes from Iowa and about 20 minutes from South Dakota. So we are in the corner of the state.
How far do you got to go to get to McDonald's?
About 15 minutes.
So in that town, if it's big enough to have a McDonald's, then maybe they'll have a dispensary. What's the name of that town?
I heard they're working on it. It's called Luverne, Luverne. I heard they are trying to get it going in one in town, but it's one of those right now. I've only heard it by word, so
I didn't hear before, but Donovan said there's reservations. Is there reservations?
Oh, Luverne, Minnesota.
The indigenous folk.
They have one called Herb and Legend.
That's a head shop, like a glass shop for the most part.
Yeah, it does actually when I'm looking at the picture here.
That's where Donovan works, actually.
Shout out Donovan.
Like I said, it's a small area, man.
They got Rock River Apothecary on East Main Street.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know if I know that one.
Look at the face on him. He's like, I'm confused. What? There's a dispensary
nope,
here?
I don't know that one.
High quality medicinal herbs, CBD products, THC gummies, natural remedies. What's on the menu? What's on the menu?
He's saying that Donovan's saying only Delta THC kind of shit. Delta 8, Delta 10. Delta
Oh, yeah. I'm seeing a lot of this stuff there. CBD, mushrooms.
And that's my dispensary. Don't talk about my apothecarium like that.
Mushroom coffee.
They're
you're right.
Weird.
Full spectrum
Very
CBD,
nice.
mushroom complex. Yeah, they're not ready for cannabis there yet. It looks like.
Well, you guys figure that out. I'm gonna run a commercial. We'll be right back. You're hanging with the hippie, DoktorHigh, and our good friend Christopher. Christopher, thank you so much for being here.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today, I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying
this is when we hit our pens and smoke a lot of weed in between. Okay,
love going to the
How'd you know I was reaching for it right now?
Yeah, feel free to smoke
is a shorter
what you want.
way to say jealous, as in Chloe. I
Take
am
your medicine
of your unicorn phone case.
How far are you from Moorhead?
Speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teenagers in foster care will think
I have to look that one up.
rad, just the same.
I know it, but I don't know how far I am.
Visit
It looks like it's close to Grand
Public service
Forks.
announcement brought to you by the U.S.
that?
Department of Health and Human
Looks
Services,
like it's close to
Adopt US
Grand
Kids,
Forks
and the Ad Council.
Grand Forks.
or
That'd have to
Fargo.
be,
This is the story of a very
that'd be a
special
few
woman.
hours north of me.
400 miles, says Garrett.
400 miles?
400
Wait,
miles.
Yeah, it's actually close to Fargo.
Her knowledge was limitless and still is.
Oh, yeah, that's North Dakota. That's way up there.
Here, especially those that lurk in the shadows under the
6 or 7 hours, says
Once,
Thomas.
This woman put back together a teenage girl's
St.
broken
Cloud's
heart,
probably about
which
4-ish.
was Shattered in
Ish.
1,000 pieces.
How about Duluth?
Just by giving her a bare
Now
hug.
you're looking at another 8.
Donovan,
Wow.
turn it on in the
But as a
dispensary.
superhero at
WTHC on Live
Everyone knows
Duluth is
365.
up there in the top
Tune in.
corner of the state, so that'd be a drive.
Just put it on. Go to
Yeah.
Live 365 or
I'm
tune
looking
in
at weed
and
maps.
look up WTHC.
Find a care guide
Yeah.
you need to help, complete with tips.
Well, then a couple years there, once when I first started having them seizures, I
Go to
lost my license. That made it that much harder.
Brought to you by
.com.
AARP and the Ad Council.
When everything's 20 minutes away from you.
www.wthradio.com and you can click
That's
on
where my
this
buddy
thing.
Tom really came in. Tom always helped me out a lot there.
That's only on Mondays, Tuesdays.
Yeah, that's the
Saturdays,
worst, losing some of
Sundays.
your,
Today, I want to go there and pick up all my great finds.
That sounds like a
Yeah,
great.
I was just
That's
looking,
badass
Garrett, at what's going on in
crystals
Minnesota, and it's
Facebook, but you can
there's
also
not too
find
many
them
green stars in the state, according to
They
weed
are
maps.
badass.
Hey, you.
Right?
Yeah, you. Are you going to have some
Maybe
crochet
you should
by
open one.
hand stuff like your Grammy used to do for you? Then you need to check out You Have Me Hooked 23 on Etsy and TikTok. Vern can do what you need.
Trust me, let me get this going, and I already got a name for my town and everything. We can open one.
No, right? We got your whole. We're gonna dock your ass now.
Anything that you might want.
My town's called Kenneth, so I'm just gonna open it and call it KFC.
Might as well give us your address and
Kenneth
social.
Fine Cannabis.
Going.
Yeah.
La 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 la.
Have you looked at what the licensing's all about in Minnesota?
Hey, Mississippi, why don't we take a ride? To
Yeah, I have actually. I've seen it, looked at it. It's just like a lot of them.
Okay,
It's
just-
more
they
coming
just-
up with the money to try and get
You
it than
guys got
anything.
me all
What
flustered.
kind of money are they looking at for a license?
Listen at
That's
it
only on
again.
Mondays, Tuesdays.
I know a
Saturdays.
private one you were still at 8,000 or 9,000 just to apply for it, I believe.
That sounds like a great.
Then you have the lawyer on top of that. We'll have to do the paperwork.
Right.
Facebook, but you can also find them.
Yeah.
Me living on disability, I ain't coming up with that kind of money.
Yeah.
WTHC. Good afternoon, everybody. You're hanging with the hippie and DoktorHigh and our good friend Christopher. We're chilling out. We're talking weed. Christopher, I got a question before you two get chit-chatting again and I don't get another
all
word
right.
in edgewise. Do you use any CBD in your life?
I have used some like lotion or whatever for my legs because that helps my muscles relax too. I remember getting some of that the one time I went out to Rochester because I did get my medical card, but between the drive out there and the prices you spent, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth the drive. When I can get the stuff here for half the price.
Yeah.
Not have to drive 3 hours one way.
It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. If you
Bullshit.
got a good
It's
local
absolute
supply
bullshit.
for what you need, then you don't need to go any further than that, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Testify. No.
The CBD is easy though because you can order it like Hippie did right from California, and you
Yeah,
can
look
make your own
on here.
preparations so easy.
Yeah, well, that's because you said seizures. How are your seizures nowadays? Are they gone? We don't have them no more, or is there always the potential for another?
Right now, they've cut down a lot. Every once in a while, they seem to happen, but that's another thing that's rough about it. They seem to happen when I'm sleeping more than anything.
Are they grand
I'll wake
mal
up
or are they
and
petite mal?
But a couple
Grand
months
mal?
ago, I had one that I woke up and half my face was purple because I think I fell off the couch and caught it on something and ended up with a concussion. And Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
another thing that keeps me from going out and trying to do a lot of things is I don't want to go out and get a job, and next thing you know, I'm staring at the floor.
Yeah.
And depending on whatever kind of job you have, it might not be.
Floor staring is probably not in the. Yeah, floor staring's probably.
That's basically
not
what
in the
happened
job
with my head injury. Was a seizure.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. CBD, my friend Dr.High highly recommends some Black Widow or some sort of widow, Charlotte's Web or something.
Charlotte's Web for sure.
Charlotte's
I've
Web.
heard of that one. A couple of strains, Charlotte Web, Harlequin. There are a couple of strains really high.
I've heard of that one, yeah.
But the simplest thing for Chris would be just to make his own CBD.
Right.
Because that he wouldn't have to travel for. It would just show up in the mailbox.
Chris, do you
just
smoke
simply
cigarettes?
Make your
No.
own.
Good
Definitely
boy.
something I've never touched there.
Good boy. I'm so
I
proud
pick
of
on
you.
my buddies pretty hard about that one.
Yeah. That's why you don't cough when you smoke joints.
See?
That's it.
Is that why?
I think so, because most of the people I know that never and didn't and don't smoke cigarettes can smoke joints without coughing their guts out. But people I know that do smoke cigarettes or did,
Because they inhale differently, right?
Nope, that's definitely a rule in this house. You can smoke it as much green as you want to, but if you want a cigarette, you better take your ass outside.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So where I was leading is this CBD stuff that Dr. High is talking about. We should make some, and you should be on. Everybody should be on a CBD regimen, right, Dr. High?
There's absolutely no drawback to it, and all kinds of potential benefit.
Right.
That's
And
really what
you
it
say
comes
you
down
suffer.
to.
You suffer from a lot of pains and aches, right? You said that. I heard you. Don't lie. I heard
Yeah,
you.
it's mainly more like a body aches. Yeah.
Yeah. So like
there's probably
this-
inflammation and muscle tightness and all kinds of things that go on with it, and the CBD could probably be potentially beneficial to.
I'm gonna diagnose you. I'm gonna have to prescribe you. You need to go to GVB Biofarm, and you're gonna have to pick up 10 grams of pure 99.9% CBD isolate ASAP. It'll cost you like $20, $25. It's $15 for the 10 grams. Then you're gonna get that, and then we're gonna be making it, and we'll teach you how to make it so that you can take it every
Give me
day.
that message.
Huh?
So I can follow it.
Don't fight me. I'm not gonna
No, I
argue.
said
with
send
you.
me a message so I can just find it and go from there.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes, but yes, because really, it's gonna help you. I really think it's gonna help you. And
it's in the chat.
There it is. It's in the chat.
GVB
I don't know
Biopharma.
how did I do that?
You just
Gotcha.
Google them, and they got 10 grams. It's $1 a gram.
Yeah.
For the CBD isolate, it
Damn.
costs $5 more just to ship it than it does to buy the CBD itself. But
There it is.
yeah.
Okay.
But really,
Yep.
with that and some oil, you can dose yourself CBD every day very, very simply. You just use this is
In front of you, buddy. There you go.
MCT oil. So it's coconut oil, but it's been refined. It's only the best healthy fats from coconut oil, and it's actually a health food supplement. Like it's really good for you on its own.
Okay. Yep.
But it's a form of oil that's highly receptive to infusion with cannabinoids. So you can put cannabinoids in butter, you can put it in olive oil, you can put it in grapeseed oil, you can put it in different oils. But different oils have different value for absorbing the cannabinoids. So they're not all equal, right? They don't all infuse equally.
Okay.
And MCT is the best one you can put it into. And this you can pick up on Amazon. I paid $15 Canadian. So in the States, you'd probably get it for $9.99. So for $35, basically, you could make CBD that would last you
You would think we freaking work for
Oh, I don't
GVB
know.
Biofarm.
I'm going to say half a year's worth of CBD for $35.
Damn,
Yeah.
ain't bad. Oh,
And
You can't
it's
do it.
not gonna hurt you in any way. And you can still, you smoke your dope in between, and you take that in between. Like I'm gonna quit smoking my vape, which is 2% nicotine, which I'm just gonna go from there to 0 and switch right over. And I'm gonna vape that shit. So I'm just gonna vape CBD all day because it's not bad for me. It's gonna make me feel better.
Like realistically, in this bottle, you could infuse this bottle with the entire 10 grams and not even need a separate container, and just put a little spoonful in your coffee,
right,
or in any food that you're eating. You know what I mean? Like a pasta sauce or mac and cheese or any of that kind of stuff.
You said yesterday making an all infused freaking food truck.
Yeah.
There you go.
Put it in just about anything.
Yeah, this would be a great way to go. Especially,
but that's CBD. Now, if you had access to a dispensary where you were able to get distillate in a syringe or something to that effect, you could also add a little distillate to it to make it a 1-to-1 or whatever you want, and then vape it as well.
Yep.
And then you're going to get high, and you're going to get the benefits of CBD. I'm sorry I didn't hear that one, buddy.
No, I'm just saying it's for Chris to get access to the distillate. That's the challenge, right?
Yeah, that's the challenge. Yeah.
You know?
But, he's got friends in lowly places. Oh, no.
Yeah, the problem is not a lot of people go to that extent because, number one, the investment in the equipment is quite expensive. And you can't just take cannabis flower and distill it. You first have to extract it somehow differently, right? Either with butane or propane or ethyl alcohol or CO2, you know what I mean? Or rosin. That's probably the easiest way would be rosin, but then you still have to go into alcohol, then you still have to go through distillation. And just the equipment to do something like that, you're looking at probably at the low end, $3,000 or more. You know what I mean? So it's not something you get into unless you're going to do it.
So you're doing it,
right?
Right. But I mean,
it doesn't make sense to do it for your own personal use.
But hold on, Dr.High. I mean, if I'm going to be all right, says it comes legal here in PA, and I'm able to grow, let's say they say 6 plants, because I think that's what's on the table. Let's just say, all right, now it's legal. 6 plants is enough for me to get a personal machine here that I could use a press, right? To make my own dabs and stuff, right? I mean, that doesn't make sense not to be able to make them, or no?
Yeah, no, because you can buy a rosin press.
Uh-huh.
A decent rosin press for probably $700.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's a one-time purchase.
Can I use? Let me ask you a question. This is kind of a funny question. Yeah. How would my friend Raggy say it? So I have like a really heavy duty shirt press where I would put it in between 2 plates and it would press the shirt down, and make the decal on it. And it would heat up to, 500, 600, 700 degrees if I wanted it to. Would that work?
It might.
With like 2 plates of some sort that heat or something?
You already have heat plates.
But there's some I think I could technically cut the stuff off of it. There's like a fabric, not felt, but some sort of a fabric. Yeah. Like more like an old vinyl or something, like a weird plate.
Does the top and the bottom plate heat?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Because that's where you would heat the top.
If they both heat, you could probably get away with it. And
it's amount of weight too, though, right? I don't know if it presses down hard enough. Like I could sit on it because I'm a badass.
My first press was 2 tons, so it was a 2-ton press. So when you close the handle and you put it into the lock position,
right,
it exerted a force of 2 tons,
4,000 pounds.
It was okay.
I'm not quite that big.
Yeah, it was okay. But when I decided, and when we decided that we were going to produce more rosin, we were going to get serious about rosin production. We actually tore apart that 2-ton press. So we took off the heat plates, we took off the controllers, we took everything off of there. And then I went to Canadian Tire and bought a 10-ton press. And then
reattached everything.
Remounted everything onto the 10-ton press so that we could get that pressure for the squeeze. And that was much more effective.
Now, as a personal, once it becomes legal here, of course, I want to make my own dabs and stuff. That's not even that, right? That's just resin or rosin or whatever you
rosin, but that's dabs. Rosin is.
I can dab. I can dab rosin.
Yeah, 100% you can.
Oh, and it'll be great.
Yeah.
All right, I like that. I like the sounds of that.
It's all natural, right? Because it's solventless. You're only doing your extraction with.
You know how I feel about this, though, Dr. High. I get very sad when I have to look at that weed after it's done like that.
Yeah, and different weeds extract differently, right?
It's been done wrong.
Yeah.
I can't smoke that weed. You're gonna tell me, right? There's nothing to smoke there.
No, you can turn around and put it into some butter though, and then make edibles from the butter. So you can reuse the chips afterwards for edibles.
Hi, Douglas.
You know. So what's up, Doug? How are you? So yeah, you can reuse it, but smoking it now.
No. All right.
No. Basically, you ever clean out your lawnmower?
No.
So
probably why it's broken all the time.
On the bottom of your lawnmower, if you're ever to go where the blade is, where all the grass gets tossed while you're cutting, and you break away that thick, dark green, heavy, hardened grass that's underneath, that's basically what your puck will be like after you're done squeezing it for rosin.
Really?
So you can do it directly from flower.
My mom always told me to stay away from the bottom of the lawnmower, so I've never really went down there.
But really, if you're going to squeeze rosin, the best thing to do is actually make bubble hash first. So you take your weed into your ice water in your bucket, you bust it up like that, you strain it through, you take the hash, you squeeze as much water out of there as you can, then you take a baking sheet, you line it with parchment paper, and you take a small grater, like cheese grater, and you grate that hash so that it's really finely grated all over the top of the parchment. And then you put it in the freezer to remove the moisture. So once the moisture comes out, you can then take that hash and squeeze it in a rosin press, and then you're getting hash rosin. So the volume of return goes up, and the flavor I find from hash rosin is sometimes better than the flavor from just squishing buds.
Oh my goodness, you're giving me a little I don't know if it's the air conditioner or what.
Well, it'd be a chub if you had anything to get chubby.
Oh yeah, no, it's going away, so I guess it's cold. Anyway, Christopher, more. I want to know more. So,
what do you want to know?
I want to know, like, how, like, you smoke a lot now. Do you smoke like every hour because of your pain? Do you smoke all the time?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. All right. And so you're still getting like, you don't know.
Pretty much most of on and off all day.
I'm sorry. Do you have bad effects from sativa like I do? It gives me anxiety and panic attacks.
I have noticed certain strains of sativa. Yeah, I'll get like a head rush or almost, like I definitely feel a little too much.
Gives me the jitters. I wanna go and run.
But yeah, I definitely notice it's more of a sativa happens with that than anything else.
Yeah. Sativa's bad. That's what Mrs. Hippie says. Sativa's bad.
Do you find many people in your area that actually grow their own? Or have been cultivating for?
I know a few people that have been doing it for a while. I mean, it's on and off now. I mean, it's definitely starting to come out a little more on who's been doing it longer.
What's the official rules right there? Is it recreationally legal now?
Yep, that just passed last month, and
And so
Grow-wise,
and you have the ability to grow how many plants?
I believe it's 8 total. So you can have 4 and 4.
4
You can
in
only
flower and 4
Yep,
in veg.
4 can be in flower at a time.
Right. That's so cool. I'm so jealous.
So, I started it too and kind of went with that for my first try.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's a fair number. Like 8, if you have a decent place to grow indoors,
like he does,
yeah, then those 4 plants could really generate you maybe better than a pound if you can get them to 4 feet high. So if your tent allows you to get to 4 feet and you can get 4 plants in there, so you need a bigger tent than what you're growing in now, a little bit, but maybe like a 4x6. But if you get those 4 plants in there like that, and you're able to cycle through like Minnesota is going to allow you to do. So as soon as you do your harvest, you can pull those plants out and put your next run in. And if you're running a strain that's a 56-day maturation period in flower, so 8 weeks, you'd be able to cycle off every 8 weeks. So depending on your level of consumption, you'd be looking at holding on
the
to
level of consumption depends
Well,
on the level of intake.
if you're able to pull a pound from those 4 plants, if you're able to get 4 ounces per plant, then your allotment would be 2 ounces a week before you ran out from your own supply.
And that'd be pushing it for me, I think.
2 ounces a week. That's easy.
Is 2 ounces a week not enough for you, or is it more than you would need?
Probably more, you would think. I mean, like I said, I've gotten definitely cut back quite a bit over the last few
When
years.
it's available.
Well, that's not the point. Then you just hide it on yourself. Like, come on, hippie.
I can't hide it on myself. I always
Nope, I've only got this much. I only got this much.
Professional. I'm a professional. I sniff that shit out. I hide it on myself, and I still find it every time.
No.
Well, that's the next thing I gotta go buy is 2 jars for when I do start drying it.
Yeah.
What's that?
I need some jars, some curing jars. I gotta go buy some of those yet.
Well, I got a question.
Those are pretty simple, and you can buy a
I just
dry
gotta go
rack
pick
on
them up.
Amazon for like $35-$40. You get a
Right.
drying rack with all the screens that hang,
Okay.
one on top of the next. So basically, you just hang it from a hook, and you have a round screen basically. Put your material on there. Then underneath, there's another screen, so you'll have 4, 5, 6 stacked, and
Okay.
that's when you're growing at the rate that you are. That's the ideal way for drying. But you can also just hang it in a cool, dark place. Keep the airflow going so that it doesn't have a chance to mold, and try and keep your humidity like 50% in that room if you can. And then your dry should take you like 7, 8, 9 days. Then you go into your cure from there, and curing could be as long as you want it to be, right? Like 30 days, I would say minimum, but you can cure for months and months and months, and the weed only gets better. The longer you cure it, the less harsh it becomes.
The other nice thing with the vault, the vault's got a good 300-400 pound door on it, so I just keep it shut and keep the air moving.
So, what's in that vault other than your?
Well, that's what I got. I keep raising my hand, but
Is it much bigger than the tent?
It's not really a lot bigger. I have a shelf behind it that I just didn't have room anywhere else for, so I left it there.
Okay.
Hello.
I have a lot of baseball stuff that I've collected over the years. I've got a lot of autographs and stuff.
I think my microphone's broken.
What's wrong with your microphone?
You guys keep ignoring me.
We didn't notice. I never know whether you're waving to the people in the chat or trying to get in.
Waving to the
No.
I just got the Hitler thing going on there.
No, that's not it either. What happened to Matt's wife? Prayers for Vicky. Oh my goodness.
Who's Matt?
Weird Matt.
I don't know Matt.
You know Matt. He comes in every once in a while.
Oh.
She's a cook though at a nursing home, I think.
Oh, she's off to the ER, whatever it is.
All right.
So hopefully she still has
We
all
will.
fingers, and we're
Where
praying.
does it go out from? From WHC Radio.
Okay, so what'd you say, hippie, before I get yelled at again?
Well, I guess I'm not yelling. I would never yell. I'm yelling at this guy. He's the one that talks all the time. No. High blood pressure. All right. Well, let's pray for her first. All right. So I want to know why he can't use that room. And I think we've discussed this, and you may have told me already, but why can't he use this vault as his grow room? I mean, what the hell is the difference between that?
That's what I was getting at.
I mean, why do we have to have a tent?
Because I'm running out of room in this place to put other stuff. So
well, I missed that. You said you have a whole bunch of shit in there. Is that what the issue is? Is that you got a bunch of shit in there?
There's a lot of autographs.
All right, well, in there. Donovan, Tom, Garrett, let's go, fellas. You plan on smoking this flower? Get your asses over there and clean out that vault. It needs to get.
What would be the dimensions inside there, Chris?
If it were clean.
Is it like 6 by 6? Would it be 10 by 8? Would it be? Do you have a guess?
10 by 10. Say probably if anything 10 by 8. Because I mean, it's a nice little size room in there. I would just have to clean it all out and get everything prepped. Because I've talked to my buddy about that.
You have the code for the spinning wheel on the front of it?
No, they had to disable it when they made it a living quarters.
So I want to know. I'm more interested in this now. You live in a bank.
Yep.
Do you have tellers that work there for you?
All the time.
Oh, awesome.
They're the ones who dispense Chris's cannabis for him.
Right. It's going to turn into a dispensary.
On the counter.
That's the counters that they're going to walk up to when you turn this place into a dispensary.
I could turn the camera and show you the vault door if you want me to.
I mean, if you could, without showing us anything that you don't want to get in trouble. I don't know.
I mean, you might see my dog on the couch, but that's about it.
Yeah, I just don't want to see your blow up dolls, your girlfriend.
No, that all stays in my room. We're good.
That's in the vault. All right.
I know better.
Yeah. Right. No, if you got an 8 by 10 foot floor space in there, you can do your 8 plants in there easy.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, why? I mean, I
know. Oh yeah, as soon as I can get more room out here.
Is there electric in the vault?
Yep.
They had to keep their money moist.
What is that, Jack Russell?
What is that, a Yankee symbol?
Miniature Greyhound.
Oh, that's a Greyhound.
What do you think most of the autographs in there are, hippie? Come on now.
Good golly, you know I'm a Mets fan, man. How you do
I'm sorry, that's not my fault.
How you do that shit to me, man? You're hurting me, Chris.
I actually do have a very good Yankee story, though.
I'm sorry. Me too. I went and saw the perfect game. David Cohen.
I was at Aaron Judge's first game.
Oh, mine's better.
My first trip to New York. I went out there by myself at about 26 because I was tired of somebody going or waiting for somebody to go with me.
So you said, fuck it?
I said, you can either come with me or wait for me, but I'm leaving.
It was like my
second. Yeah, sure shit. I saw A-Rod retire, and then the next day I saw Aaron Judge's first game, and he signed my hat, actually.
That's very cool.
So I got to meet him. That was pretty sweet.
I didn't get to talk to David Cohen that day. I was very drunk. Mrs. Hippie and I went on our second date ever, and I can't stand the Yankees, but she was a Yankee fan. So I said, and her friend was a Yankee fan, and my friend, we went on a double date to the Yankee game, and I proceeded to get very drunk, and
on your second date, you got very drunk?
Oh, yeah, because I could care less about this game. I was cheering. I was rooting for fights in the crowd. I was so bored there. I didn't want this. I did not even want to be there. She was lucky I even went. Ugh. Be seen in the Yankee Stadium. The only time I ever went to Yankee Stadium was for concerts and this one game. So I'm there and I'm drunk out of my mind. I'm behaving myself fairly well, I think, up until this point, where I realized that it's like the seventh inning and it's a perfect game going on.
Still going, yeah.
and I'm like, holy shit, it's a perfect game. It's a perfect, and I start telling everybody in the crowd. All of a sudden, people are throwing stuff at me. Shut up, you jerk! Yep. You ruined it. We're gonna kill you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, it's a perfect game. And then they're like, shut up. Anyway, the game
Sounds
ends.
about right.
Perfect game. Yogi Berra Day. Perfect game. David Cohn, my Met. That's the only reason I was happy, was because he was originally from the New York Mets. We let the Yankees have him. Anyway, get into the car. We long walk to the car. Everybody in the crowd is going nuts. The party is kicking. It's a perfect game. And now I'm drunk. Perfect game. Cops. I'm giving cops high fives. My girlfriend, my wife now, can't believe she married me. She's like pulling me into the car. I'm screaming out the window. It was a very embarrassing day. Yes, no. Don't bring me to a Yankee game.
And yet she still married you.
Yep, she still married me. Sucker, 24 years later. Anyway, we are way behind for commercials. We'll be right back. You're hanging with the hippie, DoktorHigh, and our good friend.
Almost got a 420 sound coming.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah, I got to get these in too. 420 coming up.
Hey, Dad. Your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey.
Yeah, I almost got my ass beat in the crowd, man. They were like,
when you help
shut the fuck up.
You give them as
and
much
I'm like,
time as you
I don't
can.
understand.
Make
Why?
sure they're safe and comfortable.
What's the matter? We're
But
so
it's
happy.
just as important to take some time
And
for
they're like,
yourself.
no, but if you
With
fucking
AARP,
ruin it.
we can
And then
help
my
you.
friends
Said,
and Mrs. Hippie are yelling at me. They're like, just shut up, please. We're going to get our asses kicked. We're in the Bronx, New York. This is not fucking Neverland.
The better care you can provide for your loved
Thanks.
Brad, that happened to me up in Minneapolis one year.
You're there for them.
It was Jeter's last game there, and he hit 2 home runs. And
you and your loved
I'm going wild, and everybody in the crowd's looking like they're gonna kill me.
Yeah, well, because they're in the wrong place. Yeah, you're going, hey.
AARP and the
Yeah, I had something very similar happen to me. Well, not similar at all. I got very drunk at a Ranger game once as well. And I was standing outside, and the cops were all staring at us, and we're like, and I'm leaning up against this building, and I'm wasted.
My
All of
mom
a
said I
sudden, I
must have had a
said,
record or something. And then we went down by a stream and pushed up on this huge
fucking
rock.
dropped right
And
to the
saw all these
ground.
little minnows swimming around
Not
way
a
below
good
us.
time.
And then I rescued my
The
little
officers
brother.
were like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I lost my balance. Oh,
And I brought him back to our super twig for
they were like, get out of here. Get out. We don't want to talk to you.
And the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
No, like one of my craziest weed stories was probably going out to Bongathon in Colorado.
Anyone want to come this weekend?
So I just want you to
Ask your parents to take you and your
There we
friends to
go.
the forest this week and find the fun, adventurous
Happy
you. It's
420.
closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest and the Ad Council.
D-Flow with Smoker on THC.
I'm a stoner, a roller, a real dope smoker, toker, a loner, dope smoke choker, play owners for pounds that they're growing, tobacco in the bong,
I'll finish it.
smoker. A real dope smoker, toker, a loner, dope smoke choker, play poker with owners for pounds that they're growing, tobacco in the bong with trees, real moker. I'm a real one, and double O's at the end. I keep it real shit, I don't play pretend. Don't beg, fuck handouts, I earn dividends. Spend my way to the table, hard work with my friends. Don't trip, small shit, gon' turn to big hits. Fucking up the game with missions of success.
Happy 420, everybody. DoktorHigh, you forgot to smoke. It's 420.
Oh,
The hash in it.
yeah, I'm good though.
Then I'm passing it.
Good though.
Gotta ash, then we tapping. Gotta ash, then we tapping it. Roll a J, put the hash in it. Hit it twice, then I'm passing it. Gotta ash, then we tapping it. Gotta ash, then we tapping it. I'm a stoner, a roller, a real dope smoker, toker, a loner, dope smoke choker, play poker with owners for pounds that they're growing, tobacco in the bong with trees, real moker. I'm a stoner, a roller, a real dope smoker, toker, a loner, dope smoke choker, play poker with owners for pounds that they're growing, tobacco in the bong with trees, real moker. Is I'm up, y'all can never put me down. Smile on my face, there won't never be a frown. 10 toes on the floor, so I'm walking on the ground. Smoking the air, equivalent to a pound. I'm happy, no ego, I'm me, who are you? Blaze from the hash in a row, keep me cool. Don't need nobody, myself, not a fool. My brothers around, they license the tool. Practice, I'm up, y'all can never put me down. Smile on my face, it won't never be a frown. 10 toes on the floor, so I'm walking on the ground. Smoke in the air, equivalent to a pound. I'm happy, no ego, I'm me, who are you? Blaze from the hatch in the road, keep me cool. Don't need nobody, myself, not a fool. My brothers around, they license the tool.
Yeah. Oh.
WTHC. Good afternoon, everybody. It is 4:22 somewhere.
That's funny.
It's 1:22 over here on the East Coast. So happy 422 wherever you. I think it's like the Sandwich Islands or something out in the ocean somewhere. But happy 420 to them. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to get high again with you today. We are here with our friend Chris. He's been chilling with us, telling us about his life and I guess what and why he loves marijuana. I guess that's why we all love it. I mean, so Chris, so you weren't really a partaker as a child, which is great. I mean, and then you found it, and your brother, you said, talked you into it. Which, I was an older brother. I also told my brother all those lies as well,
Oh, yeah.
to get,
we went
'cause
upstairs and hid upstairs and everything.
I didn't
so
want
we
to
didn't
get
stay
in
at the
trouble by
house.
myself. So I was like, you're smoking weed, buddy, because if I get caught, you're getting caught too. I'm not going down by myself.
Yep.
I don't wanna. Leave me alone. Don't force me.
Hey, how are you, Crystal? Nice to see you.
Good morning.
Another
Good
one I got
afternoon,
some crazy
Crystal.
stories with over the years.
But so yeah, I totally get that shit. But so then as you were getting older, you realized that this stuff is helping. I'm telling you, we're on to something here with the CBD. I think you're gonna be
Right.
straight back. Your back is gonna straighten right the hell out like a hard on. You're gonna this is high. Don't encourage him. She's back there laughing at me. Don't encourage me.
Is that a vape you're hitting on there, Chris? Is that a vape?
No, it's a little bubbler. I got the roach in there.
Oh, okay.
Bubbler with a roach in it, man. That's how you finish those.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, it looks like a snowman.
That's another thing. I don't have the best hand coordination, so it helps. Like when I'm passing it with buddies and stuff, it makes it easier.
Right. Yeah,
I think that all those issues are going to go away once we get you on this CBD regimen.
Well, the beauty of being able to do it yourself is that you can save a ton of money. I did see something, Crystal. What is that product again? It's edible, right? Like a gummy or something? Am I correct about that? I think I did see it.
I see it too, but I'm having visions. I think I saw something else from somebody else today too. I saw somebody had some beard oil.
Oh, we know the beard oil is a simple syrup. Okay. Nice. Yeah, that's beautiful because you can add that.
We would love to have you guys on and talk about your beard oil sometime very soon.
Yeah, when Master Roachy has some free time in the daytime, it'd be wonderful to spend a little time together. It's been a while. We'd love to know about that product. The simple syrup would be nice.
Yeah, I like syrup.
Well, that's another thing that basically got me started learning more and more about it is when you're stuck at home all the time, it's like I just started sitting on the computer and started reading.
Right. And so you learned about like THC and how it could help. And obviously it helps. It helps everybody. I was a survivor of a very bad car accident, and it helps me every day with pain. So, I suffer from
My buddy Tom has that same thing.
Yeah, and I got the whole mental crap going on as well. So, I got previous mental, now I got more mental, and then I met Curly Kelly, and I got even more mental. Anyway.
That's funny. me who spends all his time talking about cannabis for medical purposes and medicinal use, I only smoke recreationally.
Yes, see? But I want to know is you say you smoke. Mrs. High, is he crazy?
The answer was yes.
See, I knew it. This is you can claim that you're just taking it for recreation, but you're obviously hiding something, sir. We need to get to the deep root. We need to get into the deep roots of what your problems are, Dr. High.
Oh, that might take a couple of shows.
That's all right. We have our we have the rest of our lives.
I'm
here for you. I'm here for you.
That's funny.
I play a psychiatrist on TV. Anyway.
Yeah, when do you think that Master Rochi might have time to join us, Crystal?
She said she don't. She don't.
Oh, she said she doesn't consume.
Oh.
Crystal's not a cannabis user, although
you don't have no damn time.
Try some edibles.
And I can't have him without Queen Kate. Unless, of course, Queen Kate's at school or something and she can't be there, then I understand.
Always possible.
Yes. Oh, I get it.
Yeah, and Garrett's got some questions lined up, maybe just to play with too at some point.
Oh, this guy with his working long hours. She said he's working long hours.
Yeah, that's. I think it could be. Is it? Does he slow down?
Queen Kate.
Does he slow down in the winter?
Big fan, Queen Kate.
He is just as busy in the winter as he is during the summer months.
I'm fangirling. Queen Kate's over there.
Yes, we always have fun when we get on the show.
I'm a big fan of Queen Kate. She needs to put Master Rochi in his place sometimes.
Sorry, I remember the first show I showed Tom this, and you had to explain to somebody how to put a bong together. That was hilarious.
We had a
what? The hippie was teaching someone how to put a bong together?
Yep. You both are explaining it. He even did the noises and everything. Me and Tom were sitting here just laughing our asses off listening to it.
Was it Raggy when he got his new bong? Remember our friend Robert? Yeah, and he's.
I just remember all of a sudden I hear you telling somebody how to put it together.
Yeah, Raggy.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I come up with a good one every once in a while.
What kind of bong did he have? An acrylic he was trying to figure out, or
No, it was just a glass one. Remember, I was trying to tell him to put I couldn't see him. We were doing it here, and he was in the audience talking in the chat, and I'm like, you got to put the thing in the thing, and you got to go.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And then you got to pull it. Hi, Caitlin.
Yep.
Oh, there we go.
Yep. I know you got to keep Pops in check. I watch. I always try to tune in as much as I can. I am a big fan of you guys. I love your show. Got to get some of that product though. We got to get you on. Tell Pops to get on so we can talk about your product. Anyway,
yeah, I'm very curious about that simple syrup.
Yeah, especially if she said it had THC.
Yeah.
What else?
I don't know. What else?
We got Christopher here.
You
have any more questions for Christopher? We can kick his ass out of here. I don't care. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm such a dick. I'm a dick. I'm just kidding. I love you, Christopher. I appreciate you coming up and hanging out with us and telling us about it. So, I mean,
like I tell everybody, if we're being nice to you, that's not a good sign.
Right. If I'm not busting your balls, then I don't like you. I'm not talking
Exactly.
to you. I don't like you. You know, I'm like, ugh.
So what strains do you got going there? What is it you're actually growing?
The one was a purple Kush, and I can't remember the other one he said the seed was. I'd have to ask my buddy to double check it, but I think the purple Kush was the more of the shorter one, the bushier one.
Yes,
I got a couple pictures of purple Kush the day before I cut them down on my Facebook page, on my profile from a few years back. They are so frosty they look silver. You know, they're unbelievable. Those plants. The pecan really nice. I always like purple Kush.
Oh, today is Thursday. The show's on tonight, right? Everybody, make sure you go over and check out Master Rochi and Princess. Queen
Thursday
Kate.
night at 8 o'clock, I think, right, guys?
Yeah, that's right. It is Thursday. I didn't even recognize.
Over on.
I certainly will. I find them on YouTube. I follow them on YouTube. I try to sneak in so they don't see that I'm watching. And then I sneak out, and then I watch from the outside.
Are you making notes while you sneak in?
Well, I'm keeping track of how many followers they have.
Oh, that's it.
We're trying to keep up with them. Yes, we're not doing very well. Well, we got 2 new ones today. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for giving us a follow.
Up to
I haven't looked. They may have taken a substantial lead on us. I haven't even looked in a while.
It's hard to say. I like it when my buds look wet.
Crystal, I absolutely will. Thank you so much. What do you mean your buds look wet? I don't like when my buds look wet. I like when they look crystally.
Yeah. Like somebody dipped them in the sugar bowl.
Yeah.
Right.
But you never get that anymore. I don't feel like you get that anymore. Like
I
feel like when hydroponics was out and it was big, you know, when hydroponics first was like the big thing, and you know, we went from smoking that brown and green stuff that we got whenever you got it to like, oh my God, $20 a freaking bud, you know, a tiny little bud for the hydroponic stuff. That was always that crystally good looking stuff, but man, some of that shit fucked me up. Almost quit smoking weed from that hydroponic shit.
You know, part of the problem though now, why you're not seeing it, especially in dispensary weed, is because they're not hand trimming, right?
It's a machine, right? It's
they're using machine trim, and the machine trim is pretty violent. It knocks a lot of the trichrome off, so it's quite not as visible unless under magnification.
Right,
so
and then they're keeping all the keef.
Hydro, we're hand trimming back then. So a lot of that crystal stayed on. Like when you grow your own weed, you'll see it's quite different than from what you're buying, right? Because you have much more control over how aggressive you are when you're cleaning up your plants while you're trimming. So
when you're holding it, when you're training, I don't want a ton of finger hash, so I'm going to do my very best to hold it at a very little amount, you know.
Well, you just hold the stem.
Right. I mean, but
from there, right?
Yeah. Most growers prefer hand trimming, but I'm a new grower, so.
Well, you know, the thing is when you're harvesting, you know, 8 to 10 plants, then you can hand trim quite easily. Still take you a lot of time. Like most of the people I knew when we were trimming, we'd be able to trim maybe each person. Let me see. I'd have a crew of 8 to 10 trimmers, and it would take us 3 days to get through 60 kilos.
Oh my!
8 to 10 people on a full 8-hour shift. So
that's crazy.
What? How long it takes?
No, that amount. Like, I didn't even know that weed came in kilos. I was like pounds, and then it stopped.
Listen, I used to load pallets, full pallets. You know what I mean? With I couldn't even tell you 100 kilos, 90 kilos. I mean, every harvest we did was a minimum of 60, and then up from there, depending on the strain and the luck of that harvest. When I was at the licensed producer, anyway. not when I was doing the medical grow. With the medical grow, our harvests were more along the lines of like 30 pounds, you know?
I want to go to a trim party, but I kind of want to just watch and take a couple nice
I
buds.
find it pretty zen. Like there are two schools on trimming. Like most people really don't enjoy it.
I would find it to be annoying and tedious, and I would be nuts because I can't
some
handle
people
that.
do, but I've talked about it before. I'm a bit of a hedonist, right? I like to see my results right away. I like to do things that give me results. Like I like to cut the grass or shovel the snow because I can see the snow's there, and then when I'm finished, it looks nice and clean. Or the
Not
grass
me.
is long and
I like to see my son's results.
Yeah.
I like to see my son's results. I don't like to see my results anymore.
Oh, it's funny.
I've
But-
gone on from that.
Trimming is a very calming experience for me. I could sit down and trim for days. As long as the music is right, I'm good to go. Like I could listen to WTHC and trim for 8 hours a day. Easy.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
You know what
We
I mean?
are the official trimming station, by the way.
Give me some tunes to jam to.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on
And
Don't do much without them.
just get into the zone. Odd
Man,
question. But if
Man.
you planted like a seed a weed, a seed a week, I would imagine you're saying, yeah, a seed a week, would that become hard to take care of? Or would you be able to get into a routine? Well, the thing is, right, when it comes to cannabis, with each different week of development, you want to feed it a different formula, right? As the plant gets bigger and gets stronger, you want to be increasing your nutrients. You want to be increasing the formula that you're giving them. So in flower, once you really decide to go to flower, so your plant's 2-3 weeks old, at that point you might want to go another 3-4 weeks in flower. You're going to week 1 you're going to feed with one level of nutrients. Week 2 you're going to increase. Week 3 you're going to increase. Week 4 you're going to increase. And then when you decide to flip over to flower, you're going to go back to a different feeding regimen because you're going to switch from a veg to a bloom feed that's more designed for the flowering aspect of the plant. And then weeks 1 through, most will be done by week 10. Especially now, a lot of strains finish 56, 63 days. So by 70 days, you're pretty much done your crop. But each week, you're changing your feed regimen. So by staggering your seeds like that, you're just really putting yourself in a situation where you have to create multiple recipes for every feeding for each different plant. And that would just be a pain in the ass. You could do it if you want the extra work, but it makes more sense to have 4 plants on week 1 and then transition to week 2 and then transition to week 3, because then you're only making one recipe for each thing,
Yeah, I mean, I was going to add something there, but I mean, yeah, you would have to have a million little lights for each, who wants to have you can do 4 under one big light, or, 1 light for each fucking plant every day, a different level every day.
Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, the light would be the same in veg. So a plant on week 1 and a plant on week 4 in veg would still have that same 18.6, but you'd be finishing them at different times.
Yeah, right, but plant 7 and plant 1 would be at 2 different heights.
It would get to be like more work than really necessary.
Plant 7 would be tiny little thing coming out of the thing, and plant 1 would be 3 inches tall with its first. Then you can't, the next one is gonna.
Well, and part of the problem is the nutrients are expensive.
It's gonna shoot up, man. It's gonna shoot
Right?
up.
Like the nutrients are expensive. We would buy, when I had the medical grow, so to feed 600 plants, our nutrient bill was at least $1,000 a month.
Did you go from clones? I never asked you. Did you go from clones on that or from seed?
No, we went from clone.
Okay, so when you went from clone, did you so then you put them all in dirt, so they're all the same height and they're all starting at the same level, correct?
Yeah.
And then you were able to maintain them all with the same light at the same levels. You were able to maintain all their soils. At the same, I mean, but you had to walk around to every one individually and see what it was deficient on, right? Like on an everyday basis.
Well, because they're clones, right? They're genetically pretty much exactly the same. So,
Crystal, much love. I'll send you my address. Thank you so
for
much
popping
for
by.
being here.
Thanks for joining.
Queen Kate. Mwah! I'm fangirling over here.
Uh-huh.
Big fan. Big fan.
So basically, because you're working with all the same genetic of plants that have been cut from, you know, a couple of different mothers or maybe even just one mother, if deficiencies are going to show, they're going to show across that particular strain, right? We grew multiple strains, but each strain has a little bit different requirement, which you don't know, right? There's no handbook that says if you grow super lemon haze, you have to do this with it. If you grow purple kush, you have to do this with it. If you grow sour tangy, you have to do this with it. It's all through record keeping and observation and trial and error, right? So we know like the basic feed that would be required in the first week, right, would be obviously a lesser amount of nutrients than you would feed in week 10.
Right.
So you start and we would try to push the plants to the max. So we would increase it over that first week on the daily. And then when we come in the next day and we'd see the tips of the leaves starting to get a little bit brown or a little burnt, we knew that we were pushing it right to the edge, right? So that's the way we would continue to feed the balance of that week. And I mean, we were feeding, when we had the 615 plants, we were feeding about 1,000 liters a day of water. You know, like we had big reservoirs set up in the place so that we could fill them the day before, give them 24 hours to evaporate off the stuff they put in the treatment center, like the chlorine and the fluorides and all this. This will all evaporate out of your tap water if you let it sit for 24 hours. Then we pH it, put in the nutrients, pump them into the gardens, feed everything, and then fill that thing up again and redo our nutrient solution the following day. So part of the problem with nutrients is you can't hold on to them. So if you go back to what Garrett was saying about having plants at different stages, you might say, well, that's okay because I'll make a batch for this plant, a batch for this plant, a batch for this plant, and I'll just feed it some today and some tomorrow and some the day after. But that doesn't work because there's a lot of things there that are kind of alive inside the nutrients, right?
Right.
They're organisms. And without oxygen, they die. And it actually spoils. The food spoils and the benefit's lost. So if you're going to hold on to nutrients in a tank or in a reservoir, you have to use air stones. So you can buy the air stone, you use an aquarium pump, and basically it looks like a stone that you would have on the end of a drill as a grindstone, like a grinding wheel almost, except it's so porous that the air can come through it. So you put the air inside, and the stone diffuses the oxygen into the water or the nutrient solution. And that way you can hold your reservoir for a couple of days, right? As long as you're oxygenating it. But for the most part, you make your formula, you feed, you throw away what's more than what you're going to use.
You got to take care of Loki, and I got to do a commercial. So we'll be right back. You're hanging with the hippie, DoktorHigh, and our friend Chris has joined us this morning and this afternoon. We'll be right back.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope.
PC Richards.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the
What's up, bud?
People do some pretty
showered
cool
and everything.
things.
50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different?
Please
I mean, they go back to
subscribe,
college,
like, and share. We're trying to get to 1 million likes.
learn new
I mean, 1
instruments,
million followers or something like that.
start
I don't-
skateboarding.
What?
Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for
I happy I
retirement.
almost shaved my legs and everything.
I
You
forget
can
I'm
get on
high.
track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work for your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, Mississippi, why don't we take a ride to Dauphin, PA today?
Dauphin? What's in Dauphin?
Bella's Badass Crystals.
Oh,
Yeah, Doc, I read that one yesterday.
booking on TikTok.
Did you pick up that copy?
Mondays,
Yeah.
Tuesdays, Saturdays,
Nice.
Sundays. Today I want to go
I
there.
just want to remind everybody because as of
That
tomorrow,
sounds like a great
it
road
won't be
trip.
free
That's
anymore.
Bella's Badass Crystals on
So-
TikTok and Facebook. But you can also
If you
find
want
them
to
on
get
Talk
your
About
copy of
in
medical
Dauphin,
marijuana
PA.
CBD
They are
from Amazon, you'll have to grab it today.
Badger Heart Puppetry. Badger Heart Puppetry. And don't forget, the journals are on sale, 25% off for 36 hours.
Oh, yeah.
636-234.
Yeah, they're all on sale, each one independently, or if you buy them as a set. So you can get both of them for $15 today.
He has puppets off the rack for
That's not bad.
cheap prices. Contact Sorge today. All right, coming back. 10-234-1535 or on TikTok or Facebook at Badger Heart Puppetry. He also makes LARPing items too. WTHC, good morning and good afternoon to everybody out there. It's your afternoon chill, I guess. I don't know. We're coming up with a name, right, dude? Did you work on that at all?
These days.
One of these days.
No, I haven't been working on it at all. No.
I
No,
put it in ChatGPT and it just came up with crap.
It comes up with a lot of the same stuff, right? We want
Yeah, it's
something
like
kind of-
40 of the same thing with the same name, just with a different punctuation.
Yeah,
I'm like,
like,
that's the same shit, man.
Because one day somebody's going to throw something in the chat, and we're going to be like, bang, that's it.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing is that there's so many people out there. You got to be concerned about whatever we pick because there already might be somebody out there with that name, you know?
Right.
Well, Google's pretty good at figuring that out.
Yeah, so no matter, well, there's hardly anybody out there with a name like Da.Hippie. I mean, DoktorHigh and Da.Hippie, you know. So,
Yeah, that's pretty rare.
so, you know, if you put that into it, I mean, no matter what, it'll be all right. Like,
So let's get Garrett to shoot us a question. We got about 10 minutes left in the show. So let's grab a question from Garrett and see where it goes.
all right, Chris, you're going to answer it first.
Yep.
Oh, best of luck, I guess.
It's a battle. It's a battle of wits between you and I. And Dr. High is the judge who gives the better answer.
Now that might be fun.
Yes. Stump the hippie.
Phytocannabinoids affect our circadian rhythms. And
All
what
right,
does
I'm
this mean for optimal dosing times for medical cannabis use? All right, so
I can't even spell some of them words, let alone.
we talk about
understand them.
endocannabinoids, and we talk about the endocannabinoid system. So endocannabinoids are cannabinoids that are created by our own bodies naturally. Right? They're created by our own systems internally.
I knew that.
Now, phytocannabinoids are cannabinoids that come from the marijuana plant. So they're not artificial cannabinoids, but when we use phytocannabinoids, we're artificially stimulating our ECS, our endocannabinoid system. So the circadian rhythm is your sleep cycle. Right? So when you sleep and when you wake, and when you sleep and when you wake. So
I knew all this.
Optimal dosing times with medical cannabis. There's
right before bed.
There's a strange little window of about 2 hours where cannabis can actually kind of wake you up, right? CBD or THC can actually not make you sleepy right away. It can actually kind of wake you up a little bit. So
that's the high.
Medical dosing, if you're using edibles or whatever, I always suggest to people, whether it's CBD, THC, to dose 2 hours before bedtime. So if you're taking an edible, an oil, 2 hours before bedtime, it would be a little bit different if you're smoking, right? If you're going to smoke your joint, because that's a much faster delivery. And if you're going to smoke a heavy indica like you have this week, that tends to make you want to nod off. Then you'll know that effect, right, from the first time you smoke it, so you can adjust your timing with your smoking. But for edibles and oils, about 2 hours prior to bedtime.
That's pretty much what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah, and that way it doesn't really throw off your.
Yeah, I think I beat you, Chris, because I was going to say all that.
How did that match up to what ChatGPT says, Garrett?
And what Hippie says, because Hippie said the same thing.
I'm just curious. Because I might have totally got it wrong.
I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
But it's more important that it sounds right than that it be right. Oh, nice. Is that your ringtone?
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't
know. I'm a big Hendrix fan. That's for real. So I got the lyrics from "If 6 Was 9." That's my tattoo on my back. So.
Okay.
Very cool.
Basically, how to live life. Yeah.
It's pretty close. It's way too much for YouTube chat. Oh yeah. Yeah, about 2 hours before bed. Okay, number 2. How does long-term cannabis smoking impact respiratory health compared to tobacco, given both contain similar carcinogens? Well, long-term cannabis use doesn't have as detrimental of an effect on the respiratory.
That's what I was going to say.
Because, and I think if you were smoking, be quiet. I think if you were smoking 25 joints a day, then you could see more of an equivalency between cannabis impact on the upper respiratory, or the impact on the respiratory health would be more similar to that of tobacco. But kind of the difference is, shut up. Kind of the difference is that we usually don't smoke that much cannabis, right? You smoke a couple of joints a day, maybe most people 2, 3, 4 a day, which is way less than you smoke with tobacco. So the impact isn't as great, but there are some other things that go to show. Tobacco smoke doesn't dilate the bronchi. Cannabis smoke does. That's why there's a potential for cannabis smoke for people with asthma. Because when you have asthma, basically what happens is the bronchi in the lungs, they constrict, and it doesn't allow that oxygen to pass through the same way because they're all squeezed up like this. And cannabis is a bronchial dilator, so it can help it relax and allow that oxygen to pass through easier. So, I mean, tobacco smoke and cannabis smoke are probably both equally as bad. The only difference is that you don't usually consume as much cannabis smoke as you would with tobacco smoke. And then there's alternative methods, right? So if you get into vaping, there's probably no respiratory effects whatsoever, no negative respiratory effects whatsoever. If you're smoking with a bong, then there's probably a lot of protection there because a lot of particulate matter and everything gets caught in the water. That's why the water's there. So that kind of cleans the smoke and it cools it too, right? And some of the hits that you're taking, part of the reason that you cough is that in order to vaporize those cannabinoids, that air has to pass through it at 420 degrees. So from the time you pull through that device to the time it hits the back of your throat, it's hitting the back of your throat at 400 degrees, which is enough to cause the cough. Yeah. Yeah.
Forget it.
Why?
I was so interested in how I was raising my hand, I forgot. Damn it.
Going back to the German thing again here.
I was like,
how are we doing that one, Garrett?
Damn it! I had something I wanted to add to that, for crying out loud. I was like, but then I got into it. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I got a nice new motion here. I got a nice new motion for raising my hand. And no good. No good.
How does chronic cannabis?
I am very stoned. Yes, very high. I'm appropriately medicated, Curly Cal. I'm appropriately medicated. That's what we call it. It's not stoned anymore.
All right. So question number 3 from Garrett.
Wait. All right, go ahead.
You want to go back to number 2?
No. No. Go ahead.
All right. So Garrett says, how does chronic cannabis use, especially its interaction with the CB1 receptor, affect the endocannabinoid system in regulating motivation and the brain reward pathways? So I'm not 100% sure with the CB1 receptor on this, but from the best of what I understand, the CB1 receptor, I think, regulates dopamine, the release of dopamine, which is the brain's pleasure reward chemical, right? That's the same one that's released when you do a lot of drugs, any kind of drug. So it's dopamine that gets released.
I like drugs.
But your body can only produce dopamine so much of it, right? It can't produce it all the time. And when you're a long-term cannabis user, a chronic cannabis user, you release that dopamine every time you smoke, every time you smoke. And eventually, your dopamine receptors don't react the same way. So you don't get the same result from that cannabis that you ingest. So you either have to increase your dose or you end up not releasing the dopamine. So over a period of years, you can actually not receive the same brain reward from the use of cannabis, and you can have other demotivating factors, like you can lose your pleasure from the sense of touch, or from the sense, or from food, flavors of food, and things like that. So I think that might be along the lines of what Garrett was asking. I don't know. Only Garrett can let us know because he's the one who sourced the questions and read the answers. So, but I kind of like this game. It's fun.
Yeah. I'm having a great time.
So he's making jokes. I'm trying to take a drink down here.
I'm just asking if you had cotton mouth.
That's a good thing, though.
Yeah, I was just concerned, making sure you're getting high enough over there, making sure you're staying medicated.
I need the bong for that, not a Mountain Dew.
Not Mountain Dew. Well, Mountain Dew will get you a little buzz. I'm telling you, you drink enough of that quick enough. Woo-hoo.
Good.
Yes, pretty close.
Good.
All right.
Good.
Well, what's your plans, dude? Talking to you.
Oh, I don't know.
All right.
I don't have any big plans, but yeah. Would be good. Right. You talked about dopamine and CB1 receptor, pretty on par with what ChatGPT said. Well, that's good. That's good. I like that. Because ChatGPT is pretty, what color nails should you get? I would go with a nice emerald green.
No, I told her already. We're going to the Muck Sticky concert. She should get purple and green, different colors, and write Muck Sticky across.
Or how about purple with little orange dots?
Right.
The inverse of his hat there. Oh, no, his hat's orange with purple dots. So you go purple with the orange dots.
And then get Muck Sticky across them.
You'll be good to go. That's next weekend for you guys, eh?
Yeah, it's getting close.
It's going to be fun.
Woo, woo. So what are you talking about? I should show you my Uncle Roach tattoo. They're happy.
Well, let me see. I love tattoos. I got a couple.
Got 3 awards so far.
You got what? 301? Oh, wow. Very nice. That is that's what's his face, right? The Roadrunner dude there.
And those colors are so vivid. That's Sonic, right? That's from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, that's the dude, Sonic.
Oh, yeah, he's got a nice blunt in his mouth and everything.
Very cool.
Is that actually a Sonic character that smokes weed?
What was that?
Is that a character from the Sonic movies that smokes weed?
Yeah, I mean, I made it that way, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
I actually was making fun of you when you walked away before. I thought you had a funny sock on. I was like, look,
it's definitely not a sock. That's been there going on 8 years now.
Look, it looks great. It looks great. Well, it's from a distance. Come on, I got puppet eyes. I can't see that good.
So I love people. That's their biggest question, and they ask me how old it is. They don't believe me.
3 awards? Is that what Garrett's saying? You got 3 awards for that?
Fluid.
Yep.
There's no fade in that.
And then what?
How do you get into tattoo award shows? Do you just walk in and say, "Hey, I got a tattoo. I want people to look at and get judged," or do you just? What?
Pretty much, you go find it, and then it's usually about $10 or so much to enter each contest, but you walk away with a nice trophy or something. So
nice.
Do they
and
have
my
like
tattoo artist? If I give him the award, he'll give me free inks. So it's a nice trade-off.
That's not so bad, right?
Now,
Like, hey, you're the actual artist, but
if I had tattooed where I got tattooed, I would have been able to afford to be as tattooed as I am.
Do they have cartoon? I mean, do they have categories like different?
Oh, yeah.
Categories? Like, does yours go into like a weed category or it's cartoon category? Or something?
You got like cartoons, and then you got gamer, and you got animals, and portraits.
Like
it all depends on what,
and portraits and
best
tribal.
black and white, best gray, and
Do they
black
have
and
tribal?
gray. Yep.
It's not that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go try it out. Maybe I got a couple that are nice. Do they ignore the ugly ones that are around it if they see something? Like if I have a sleeve, but I have a couple in the sleeve that are very nice, but I don't want them to look at the other stuff. I want them to focus on that one.
Give me a kiss.
Yeah, you just tell them that's what you entered. Like this is the one you're looking at right here. Damn it.
Yeah, I got a couple that are really nice, but they're hidden and they're in here, but they're not. Like I got 50 some odd tattoos on my arms. They're all different times that I sat down and just sat there and got tattoos. And it's hours.
My left leg is just about as colorful. So yeah. Lots of memory and time put in.
My tattoos are probably about the same age, 8 or 10 years now, and they're fairly colorful. I'm pretty proud of my tattoos. I like them.
Well, because the whole surfer theme and everything, the background came from the old Point Break movie.
That's a great movie.
No,
that's where my nickname came from, was Roach, because one of the surfers was Roach.
Sorry, Krenza.
Hi, Pothead. It's so nice to see you. I miss you.
Been a while, eh?
Yeah. She's been missing.
Working too hard at TH&C.
Yeah. They got her working overtime up there, I guess. I miss her.
Well, I'm going to be moving closer that way now. I'm going to be moving towards New Brunswick from Ontario, so
me too.
A little bit closer.
I'm thinking about Plattsburgh. I'm gonna go live in Plattsburgh, New York. This way, I could just walk across the border, hang out in Montreal with DoktorHigh, and then walk back drunk.
Well, you don't have to be drunk. You can be high in Montreal. It's legal there.
Right. Stoned. I can go get stoned.
We could sit in the park and smoke a big joint.
Right.
The doctor saw my phone case and he liked it. Nice.
Very cool. She's got a WTHC phone case or a weed radio phone case, I think.
Nice.
Yeah. He's for weed. Gotta love a weed radio. So I'll just walk across. Mrs. Hippie's not going to be fond of the idea of living in Plattsburgh. I don't think there's as much work for her up there, but
in Plattsburgh?
Yeah.
You know what Plattsburgh is really big on? Retail shopping, because they get all the Canadians over there to shop. That's the big industry in Plattsburgh.
I remember that. Don't they have like a big outlets up there? And all the Canadians come over to the outlets, or they used to back when we let people over the border.
Yeah, because it's only 45 minutes from Montreal, right? So it's pretty close for people.
Off to take a bath. I hope it helps.
Well, we hate that you're sick, Grenza. Hopefully you don't you get over it quick. A nice bath never hurts. Drop some CBD drop a bath bomb in there. CBD infused bath bomb.
Take some bath salts.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not bath salts.
No, what's those other salts there that makes them crazy?
Yeah, I don't want her eating nobody's faces off. Anyway, what are we doing here, dude? Christopher, I want to thank you first of all for being here and hanging out with us. I'm ending this damn thing. I'm gonna piss myself. I appreciate you.
Anyway, so.
I love the fact that you live in a bank. I love the fact that you have that all set up in there. I want to see it better next time where we can see the actual. I mean, I see it on the.
I'll pull you up on my phone next time so I can make it a little more easy.
What's going on?
You got a fucking train up in the fucking bank?
Semi is going by the front door. I got the front door open here.
Oh. Do people come there and like ask if they can do their banking with you?
No, not quite anymore.
You just got to put a sign up front that says deposits only.
Yes.
No withdrawals available.
Deposit your cash
Deposits only.
Never going to get it back. Just deposit it right in this little slot right here.
That's right.
All right. I'm out of here. I can't take no more. Christopher, I love you. Thank you so much for coming up and hanging out with us.
Thanks for coming up today.
You're the man.
Lots
We
of fun.
appreciate it. Keep staying smoking and lifting.
Chat with you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be
Peace.
here. You know that, brother.
Yeah, that's the plan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Garrett. That sounds like a normal bank. I see people having problems getting their money out these days.
Right.
Being a bit of a dick.
All right. Everybody out there, much love. Thank you so very much for being here and hanging with us. Please like, subscribe, and share. Tell everybody about us. We're here every day, Monday through Friday. Tom, it was great meeting you. Garrett, it was great meeting you. Everybody, all the new people that came in. The blessing of having the Queen here, Queen Kate and Crystal. Thank you guys for stopping in. Everybody, thank you, DoktorHigh. Thank you for being here. You're always you're my idol. I love you.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody for my 100 subscribers. Tom, again, thank you. Walleye, thank you. Everybody, thank you so much. All right, we out.
Nice.
Peace.
Everybody have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow to finish off the week. Weekend's just a day.